What's up, DSAT Hackers? We are with another predictions for the upcoming October exam. In our August predictions, we predicted 19 questions, and out of those, 9 of them were actually on the exam. In this video, I revealed the questions that we got right and the questions that were actually on the August exam. Now, for the October SAT, we prepared and packed 18 questions that has a very high chance of being on the exam. But as I always say, if watching this video is not enough, you have to do these questions yourself. So make sure you download them from the community that is linked in the description and actually do these questions, solve these questions. Plus, the community is not only for these predictions. You can ask your questions and get more personalized answers from me, or get access to other courses and study with like-minded students, which is a very valuable tool in your preparation. So with that being said, let's get started with the first prediction. So the first question that I've predicted is a problem solving and data analysis question. The question says a company that produces only one type of item pretty long question. A random sample of 400 items produced is estimated that this much of the items are defective with a margin of error of this, right? Choice A says 2.73 of the items are defective. No, 2.73 is the margin of error. It is plausible that between this and this of the items are defective. So if it's 8.5% and we have a margin of error of 2.73%, then we add and subtract this. So we do 8.5 plus minus 2.73. If we add 2.73 to 8.5, we're gonna get 11.23. And if we subtract, we're gonna get 5.77, right? So choice B is correct. Let's check C and D. Well, 8.5% of the items are defective, yes, but we have a margin of error, so we can't say that 8.5% of the items exactly this much is defective. So no C, that's not C. And it is plausible that more than this of the items are defective. Well, since the margin of error is this, what we're expecting is to be between these two numbers. It can't be more than this and it can't be less than this, right? So it's going to be choice B. Question 2. A district school board in a certain state is proposing a change to the time school starts from all high school in the district. So all high schools in the district. A sample of 353 high school students was selected at random from all high school students in the district. The selected students were asked whether they approved of the proposed change, and 300 students responded that they did not approve. Which of the following is the largest population to which the result of the survey can be generalized? So this is another data analysis question about the surveys and these kind of questions. So 353 high school students was selected at random. Where are these high school students? These are students from all high schools in the district. So these are the data that we are selecting, all high schools in the district, right? So choice A says all high school students in the district. Can we generalize this result into all high school students in the district? Yes, we can, because that's where we already did the survey. So keep A. B says the 353 students who are surveyed. Yes, so a sample of 353 students surveyed, and this result is exactly for those 353 students, but this is not the largest population that we should generalize. So B is correct, but it's not large. A is larger than B. We can generalize to all high school students in the district. The 300 students who responded that they did not approve of the proposed change. Nope. All high school students in the state. So we asked this survey into all high school students in the district. If we ask the same survey, if we do the same survey into high school students in the state, maybe we get a different result. We don't know that. So the maximum population that we can generalize this result is to all high school students in the district. So it's going to be A. Now, another very common SAT question. The figure shown is a right circular cylinder with a radius of r and height of h. The second right circular cylinder has a volume that is 576 times as large as the volume of the cylinder. Which of the following could represent the radius r in terms of r and height h in terms of h of the second cylinder, right? So in SAT, we usually get questions that is like, the length of this shape is x many times of the other shape. How many times the volume of this shape is based on the other one, right? But this one is the opposite. We're given that the volume is this many times. What is the relation between the length of the sides or the radius, whatever? So always in these questions, the best way to solve is to write the formula of what we are being asked. Is it volume? So write the formula for the volume of that shape. If it's area, write the area for the the formula of the area for that shape, right? Here it's the volume for a cylinder. The volume of a cylinder is the area of the base times the height. So like it's like you find the area and then you take that and stretch it as much as the height of the shape. That becomes the volume. Area of the base is circle, so it's going to be pi r squared, then times height, right? So this is the volume, and we are given that the volume of the second shape is 576 times the volume of the first shape. So that means the radius and the height of the second shape, if we plug those into here, it should be 576 times the volume is going to be 576, right? So let's go with choice A. Let's say if the radius of the larger cylinder is 9 times the radius of the smaller cylinder, then we say okay, so the radius is 9 times. That means radius square is going to be 81 times. Then the height is 8 times the height of the smaller cylinder, so this is going to be 8. Now 81 times 8, is that 576? No. How do I check that? Like I just multiply the first digit. 8 times 1 is going to be 8, but the first digit of this is 6, so it's not 576, right? So I just eliminated A. B says 9r and 64h. So if it's 9r here, it's going to be 81, and here is going to be 64, which is going to be a very large number. It's not B. C, it says, so r is 8 times, that's going to be 64 times 9. 64 times 9, this looks correct. 64 times 9 gives us 576. So this is going to be the answer, choice C. The next question that I've predicted: on average, a certain tree grows 51 centimeters every m months. At this rate, which expression represents the number of centimeters on average the tree grows every k years? So the important thing here is this: the tree grows 51 centimeters every m months, not every 1 month, every m months. We don't know what is m. M could be 3 months, like 51 centimeters every 3 months or every 4 months. And we are being asked what will be the rate, the amount, in centimeters that the tree grows every k years. So what we're gonna do, k years, so 1 year is 12 months. If we are given that k years, we multiply that by 12 to convert it into months, right? So we say k times 12, or in other words, 12k. So this is in months. Now, if let's say m was 3, that would mean like 51 centimeters every 3 months. What would you do? We would divide this by 3, then we would multiply this by 51, right? We would divide this by 3, like let's say k is 1 year. You will say, all right, so in 12 months, I divide this by 3. I say, okay, there are 4 3 months in this, so there is 4 times 51 centimeters, right? So by just giving an example number into m, I was able to solve this. I said, what we did, we divided by the months, right, by m. So I said 12k divided by m, then you multiply this by 51, right? So what we did, we did 12 times k times 51 divided by m, and 12 times 51 is 612k divided by m, which is going to be choice D. It's a good question, and be aware of these kind of questions to not confuse you, because the choices are so close to each other. Next question that I've predicted is another margin of error question. 2 different digital SAT test centers estimated that the percentage of all test takers who took digital SAT on iPad, they each selected a random sample of test takers that they recorded the test takers using iPad, completely detailed. The results from each sample are shown in the table. So here's the table. If the associated margin of error was calculated the same way for both of these samples, which of the following is the most likely reason that the result for sample B has a larger margin of error? So sample B has a larger margin of error. Which one of these can be the reason for that? Choice A: sample A included more test takers than sample B. If we have more test takers in a sample, if we have more data in a sample, does that mean the margin of error is going to be lower? Yes. Sample B included more test takers than sample A, so this is exactly the opposite of that. If sample B includes more test takers, more data in that sample B, then the margin of error of this one would be less than A. So it's not B. It's going to be actually A. This is correct. Sample A has a greater percentage of test takers using an iPad than sample B has a greater percentage of test takers. Is this because of having more test takers, more percentage of the test takers that uses an iPad? No, the margin of error doesn't depend on that. And sample B was selected after sample A. Again, not related. It's going to be choice A. So always remember this. The bigger sample means a smaller error. The lower sample means the larger error, right? If you do a survey, if you are doing an experiment on more people, your result is more accurate than the other who did this experiment on a lower sample that has a sample that has less data in it. The next question is a unit conversion question. An object's speed is increasing at the rate of 12.1 meters per second squared. What is this rate in miles per minute squared, rounded to the nearest tenth? So we're going to convert the meters per second squared to miles per minute squared. This is what we're looking for. 12.1 meters per second squared should be converted into miles per minute squared, right? The way I can do these unit conversions, I write the number with the unit that the number is, then times a fraction line. So let's start from the top of the fraction. Meters, I want to make it miles, so I want to have a miles here, right, on top. What should we do? I'm gonna write meter down, so this meter cancel this meter, right? Makes sense. And then miles up, so when this meter cancel this meter, I have the miles here. So meter converted into miles easily. Then after writing this, I say, all right, so this is given here. We have to put numbers here. So 1 mile is 1609 meters. So I say 1 mile is 1609 meters. Just write those datas accordingly to the numbers beside the units. Okay, that's from the meter to mile. Now let's do the second squared to minute squared. So I want to remove the second squared and have minute squared here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna write second squared here, so this cancels this, and I have minute squared left here. So first I write these units in the correct place, then I write the numbers. So I know 60 seconds is 1 minute. So I'm gonna write 60 here, 1 here, but these are squared. So I'm gonna take the square of this. 60 squared is going to be 3600, and here is going to be 1. That's it. That's all you need to do. So now you see that 12.1, like first, let's see the cancellation of these units. Meter is going to be gone with meter. Second square is going to be gone with second square. You are left with mile per minute squared. Now just multiply the numbers that you need. 12.1 times 1 times 3600 divided by 1609. Let's do that. 12.1 times 3600, then divided by 1609, which is going to be 27.07, which is going to be, if you rounded to this nearest tenth, it's going to be choice B. So next question is a question that uses all standard deviation, range, median, mean, all your information about that. We examined a set of 86 plants. The lightest plant had a mass of 2.8 kilograms. So the lightest plant is 2.8, and the heaviest plant had a mass of 6.2. Chiro examined the same set of 86 plants and also an additional plant with a mass of 11.7. So I'm going to write C here. The same exact plant, 86 plants, that has the minimum of 2.8 and maximum 6.2, and then an additional plant that had 11.7 kilogram. Which of the following must be true about the set of plants that Irvi examined and the set of plants that Chihiro examined? Let's read the choices one by one. The standard deviation of the masses in kilogram of the plants that Irvi examined is greater than the standard deviation of the masses in kilogram of the plants Chihiro examined. So what is the standard deviation? Standard deviation is talking about how spread these data are from each other. If the data are too spread, that means the standard deviation is higher. If the data are too close to each other, packed, then the standard deviation is lower. Let's compare the standard deviation of Ari and the standard deviation of the plants that Chihiro examined. So Ari is the plants that he examined is 2.8 to 6.2, and the Chihiro has one more plant that had 11.7. The standard deviation of the C is going to, since the 11.7 is out of this range, right? Let's say we don't know what is the standard deviation, by the way, for these data because we don't see the data and where these numbers are packed and close to each other. Let's say the numbers are close to 2.8, which is going to be the most far to 11.7. Then the standard deviation of C is going to be increased if we compare it to this, because you add one more data to this exact same data. You add one more data that is very far from 2.8. If you say, let's say the standard deviation is 6.2 for the both same data, then and again you add a data that is far from, it's not at the range of 6.2. If you add a data that is exactly 6.2, which is the exact same standard on the exact same standard deviation, then it won't change. The standard deviation is not going to change. But you added a data, although it's slightly far, again it's not on the standard deviation, so again it's going to increase the standard deviation slightly. So the standard deviation of C is going to be larger than Ari, but the choice A says the standard deviation of Ari is going to be greater than C, so it's not A. Let's check B. The range of the masses in kilogram of the plants that Ari examined is greater than the range of C. So let's check the ranges. Range means the maximum minus minimum. Maximum minus minimum is here 6.2 minus 2.8, but here the maximum is larger, so 11.7 minus 2.8 is going to be a larger number. The range of C is larger than this, but the choice B says the range of Ari is greater than C, so it's not B. Let's check C. The median of the masses in kilogram of the plants that Ari examined is less than the median of the masses of the plants that Chihiro examined. So what was the median? Median was the middle number in the data set, right? So here the median, we don't know the middle numbers here, but the median of these both data sets are the same. However, when we add this 11.7, the median, like there are 86 plants here, the median is going to be the weight of the plant number 43 and 44, like the middle of this. The half of 86 is 43, and you add one more 44, so the mean of the 43 and 44 is going to be the median, right? But here when you add one more, you're going to have 87 plants, and the median number is going to be exactly 44. But do we know what is the weight of those plants? Maybe the weight of the plant 43 and 44 are the same, right? Let's say the plant number 43 is, I don't know, let's a weight that is between these. Let's say it's 4. 4 is the plant number 43, so 4 is the plant number 43, and the weight of the plant number 44 is also 4, right? The median of this is going to be 4. If you add another data set here, the median is going to be this time this, which is again 4, right? But it might also be something else. So here the question is kind of tricks you based on this statement, which is so important to that's why we always say read the question carefully and see what the question is asking you. The question says, which of the following must be true? This is so important. Must be true. The difference between must be true and is true is here. If it says which of the following is true, that means we have only one correct answer. But if the question says which of the following must be true, that means we have one of the choices might be correct, but also might be not correct. So you have to look at the choices. Like if you say, you check the choice and you say, oh, this is correct, this looks correct, so this is the answer. Okay, next question. No, you're gonna find the choice that is always correct. That's why it says which one should be true, always true. It has to be true. right? This is so important. So C can be true if we add one more data and the median doesn't change, or if we add one more data and the median will decrease or increase, who knows. It can be true, it cannot be true. So it's not C. Let's check D. The mean of the masses in kilogram of the plants that are examined is less than the mean of the masses in kilogram that C examined. So let's compare the means. Since we have the same data sets here, right? So these have the same mean, but when we add another data that is larger than the maximum data, the mean increases. Period. Like, this is so crucial. If you add a new data to a data set that is larger than the maximum data in that data set, the mean is going to be increased. If you add a new data that is less than the minimum data in that data set, the mean will decrease. So here we added a new data that is larger than 6.2, the maximum data, mean is going to be increased. So the mean of C is larger than A. The mean of the array is less than C, which is correct. Alright, the next question that I predicted is a circle question, which tests your circle knowledge. A circle in the xy plane has a diameter with endpoints A11 and AD, where A and D are constants. An equation of the circle is 6 minus a squared plus y minus 17 squared, where r is a positive constant. What is the value of d? So we are looking for the value of d here. And in this equation, the equation is not complete, the data points are not complete. How are we going to do this? The first thing that I notice is about these two data points that are on the diameter, that they have the same x coordinate. Like, let's say this is like on the xy plane. Let's say this is A, right? They have the same x coordinate. Let's say this is A. One of the points is 11, so y coordinate is 11. So it's going to be this point. And the other point is on this line. Like, it's going to be on this line because it has the exact same a coordinate, x coordinate, but we don't know where is that. Like, if it's here, then this will be the circle. If it's here, then this will be the circle. So I'm looking at this equation of the circle, and from this, which is the standard equation of the circle, we know that these are the coordinates of the center and this is the radius, right? So I see that the center, the x coordinate of the center is A and the y coordinate of the center is 17. So the center is on this line A that has a y coordinate of 17. Right, so here is 17, here is the center. So now I see the radius. The radius is here, which is 6. And since here is one point on diameter and here is center, the other point is going to be here, right? Too easy. The other point is going to be here, and it has the same radius of 6. So it's going to be 6 more than 17. The y coordinate of this is going to be 6 more than 17, which is 23, right? So this point is A23, which is AD. So D is going to be 23 here. What is the value of D? 23, choice D. The next question tests your percent knowledge. For the positive quantities h, j, and k, 94% of h is equal to 47% of j, and j is equal to 30% of k. What percentage of k is h? That means I want to write h in terms of k. What percent of k is h? So h equals what percent of k? So h in terms of k, right? So let's translate this word by word. 94% of h is equal to 47% of j. How do you find 94% of h? I say 0.94 times h, right? So 0.94 h is equal to 47% of j. So 0.47 j. And j is equal to 30% of k. So j is equal to 0.3 times k. Now we want to write h in terms of k, so I want to combine k and h in one equation. So I'm going to plug this j into here. j is 0.3k, so I'm going to write 0.3k here. It will be 0.94h equals 0.47 times 0.3k. Let's see, what is that? 0.47 times 0.3 is going to give us 0.141. So 0.94h equals 0.141k. Now we're gonna write, I want to write h equals some percent of k. So I'm gonna remove this 0.94. How? By dividing both sides by 0.94. 0.94. So this will cancel, and I will have h equals 0.141 divided by 0.94 is going to give us 0.15k, right? Now here is the tricky thing, or here is the important thing that you should do for all the questions. After finding the answer, go back to question, read what the question was asking, then plug your answer. What percentage of k is h? Disregard this sign when entering your answer. So we're not going to plug 0.15. We want to make this in percent. We want to write this in percent as the percentage. So if h is 0.15k, that means it's 15% of k. So we're gonna write 15 here. In triangle PQR, the measure of angle P is 3x plus 5 degrees. The measure of angle Q is 3x plus 9 degrees, and the measure of angle R is 4y plus 5 degrees. If side QR is extended through point R to point S, and the measure of angle Q is 6 plus 5 is what is the value of x plus 5? Alright, so let's understand what the question is talking about. We have a triangle PQR. Let's just have a triangle. Yes, we got the triangle PQR. The measure of angle P is 3x plus 5 degrees. The measure of angle Q is 2x plus 9 degrees. The measure of angle R is that. If side QR is extended through point R, the side QR is extended through point R, so we're extending this to point S. So here will be then S. And the measure of angle PRS is this angle, is x plus y. What is the value of x plus y? Okay, so this is the, and this angle is the angle that is outside the triangle, and I always know that this angle that is outside the, like, kind of the 180 minus this angle that is inside the triangle. So this angle is equal to this plus this, always. Like if we compare it to other angles, like this angle is going to be P plus R, and this angle is going to be Q plus R. So now this angle is going to be Q plus P. That's what I know. The PRS, which is x plus y, is equal to Q plus P. What is Q? It's 2x plus 9. P is 3x plus 5. So when I add them, it's going to be 5x plus 14. What is y here? Y is going to be equal to 4x plus 14. So let's just have this. And the second thing that we can write, that the sum of these triangles, the sum of these angles PQR is going to be 180. So let's also write that down. So 3x plus 5 plus 2x plus 9 plus 4y plus 5 is going to be 180. Let's simplify this. So we will have 5x plus 4y plus 19 equals 180. Now I want to remove this y, and I know y equals 4x plus 14. So let's plug that here. 4 times 4x plus 14. What's that going to be? Let's just use this part. So 5x plus 4 times 4x is going to be 16x plus 4 times 14 is going to be 56 plus 19 equals 180. Here's going to be 21x plus 75 equals 180. 21x equals 105. Let's see what is x. X is equal to 105 divided by 21. 105 divided by 21 is 5. We just found that x equals 5. If x is 5, what is y then? It's going to be 4 times 5, 20, plus 14 is going to be 34. So x plus y that we are looking for is going to be 34 plus 5, which is 39 degrees. So you're gonna plug 39 here. The next question really tests your linear functions knowledge. So let's check the question. For the linear function PC equals negative c, where c is a constant, P3 is 26, and the slope of the graph of y equals p of x in the xy plane is 8. For the linear function t of c is negative 7 and t of 4 is 38. What is the slope of the graph of y equals t of x in the xy plane? So first what I'm going to do is, this is a linear function as the question says, and I know that the form of the linear function is y equals mx plus b, right? M is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So for this particular function p of x, we are given that p of 3 is 26, that's what I know, and the slope is 8. The slope of the function is 8. So I know that p of x equals, then the slope is 8, so 8x plus b. Let's give one of these this data that we know. Let's plug 3 to x and 26 to y to find out what is the b, or the y-intercept. So it's going to be 26 equals 8 times 3 is 24 plus b. Alright, so from here I know that b equals 2, and the complete form of the function is 8x plus 2. This is the function. Now we are given that p of c is negative 6, and we need c here, so p of c is negative 6. Let's find what is c. So this function is equal to negative 6. What should I plug into this function to get negative 6? To find that, we're gonna say negative 6 equals, so when it says p of c is negative 6 means this is negative 6, so I'm gonna say negative 6 for that, and then write the equation here. 8x plus 2. Negative 6 equals 8x plus 2. Let's find out what is x. I'm going to move negative 2 to the other side. It's going to be negative 2. So I'm going to get 8x equals negative 8. And then x is negative 1. So when c is negative 1, we get negative 6. Like that means rather than x, I'm going to say c. So I found out what is c. And I found the function p. Now let's check the second function, the second linear function t. T of c is negative 7 and t of 4 is 38. So c is negative 1. I know that t of negative 1 is negative 7, t of 4 is 38. I know 2 points from this function. I can find the slope, or I can find the whole linear equation, the equation of this function. What is the slope of the graph? So let's say t of x is mx plus b, right? So when x is negative 1, we get negative 7. I'm gonna put that here. Negative m plus b is negative 7, and when m is 4, we get 38. So when x is 4, we get 38. So 4m plus b equals 38. Now let's multiply this equation by negative. So when I add these, this will be negative b plus b, so b's cancel out, so, and I can find m, which is the slope, right? So if I multiply this by negative, I'm gonna get m minus b equals 7, and here was 4m plus b equals 38. So when we add them, this and this is going to be cancelled out, and we will get 5m equals 45. That means m is 9. So the slope is 9, choice D. Now the next two questions are my favorite. Let's read these questions and compare them. The function f is defined by f of x equals this. It's a quadratic function where a, b, and c are constants. The graph of y equals f of x in the xy plane passes through the points this and this. If a is an integer greater than 1, which of the following could be the value of a plus b, right? Let's see the second type. It's really close, so similar to this, but in this one, rather than giving the 2 points that passes through the function, we are given the vertex of the function. In the xy plane, a parabola has a vertex of this and intersects the x-axis at 2 points. If the equation of the parabola is written in this form, where a, b, and c are constants, which of the following could be the value of a plus b plus c? Two very good questions, and these are really common questions on the SAT. So you have to know that like if you are given this question, it's going to be either this type or this type. This one, you are given two x-intercepts. Like, as you see, these are x-intercepts, 9, 0, negative 2, 0, since y coordinates are 0. So these are two x-intercepts. So you're given two x-intercepts, or you're going to be given only one vertex of the function, and then being asked to find a, b, or c, or the sum of them, or just an expression with a and b and c, right? So to do these questions, you need to know the x-intercept form of the parabola and also the vertex form of the parabola, right? Let's just have these here. The x-intercept form of the parabola is a times x minus k times x minus h, and k and h are the x-intercepts. These are the x-intercepts, right? So you have to know the x-intercept of the parabola and also the vertex form. Here's the vertex form of the parabola. You should memorize these forms for sure, 100%. The vertex form is a times x minus k squared plus h, and k and h is the vertex, right? So this is the coordinate of the vertex. If you're given the vertex, you're going to use this form. If you're given the x-intercept, you're going to use this form. Let's solve both of these types. In this question, we're given the x-intercepts, this 9 and negative 2, and we are being asked what could be the value of a plus b when a is an integer that is greater than 1. So we don't know what is the equation. We are not given the equation. It's completely empty equation here, but we only know that this is a quadratic equation, so we can use this form, x-intercept form, and write a times x minus k times x minus h. A times x minus k times x minus h, and we are given that the k and h are the x-intercepts. So let's complete this. A times x minus 9 and x minus negative 2, which is going to be plus 2. This is the equation. Let's just open this equation, simplify this. We will have a times x squared minus 9x plus 2x is going to be negative 7x minus 18, and then if we multiply a inside the parentheses, we're going to get a x squared minus 7x minus 7ax minus 18a, and this is equal to this form, right? So this is going to be this form. So ax squared plus bx plus c. If you check now, we see, oh, we have ax squared, we have ax squared, right? Then we have bx and we have negative 7a. So you know, all right, negative 7a is b. That's why we did this. We see c, we have this, so we know, all right, negative 18a is c. Now we're being asked to find a plus b. A plus b is going to be a plus b is negative 7a, so plus negative 7a. We're gonna get negative 6a. What can be negative 6a? We're gonna check the choices and also this information here. A is an integer greater than 1. A is an integer greater than 1. That means a can be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. So I'm checking the choices. First of all, if a is greater than 1, it's an integer, it's me multiplied by negative 6, it's going to be a negative number. So a and b is out. We have negative 6 and negative 12 left. To get negative 6, a should be 1. So negative 6 times 1 is negative 6. But a is larger than 1. So negative 6 is out. A is 2. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. And it's going to be choice D. Now let's check 13. We're given the vertex. So we're going to use the vertex form. Vertex form was a times x minus k squared plus h. Kh is the coordinate of the vertex. So let's complete that. A times x minus negative 6 is going to be x plus 6 squared plus h, which is plus 15. Like this is k, this is h for the vertex. Now let's open this equation. It is going to be a times x squared plus 12x plus 36 plus 15. Let's simplify. Multiply a inside the parenthesis, it's going to be ax squared plus 12ax plus 36a plus 15. This is equal to this form, the same standard form of the parabola, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. Now we see, all right, we have x squared, bx and 12ax. So I say, all right, 12a is equal to b. B is 12a, and then we see this one here, which is going to be equal to c, right? And we're being asked what is a plus b plus c. So a is just a plus b is 12a plus 36a plus 15. We want to find this. Let's just simplify. It's gonna be 49a plus 15. We want to find what can be the value of this 49a plus 15. So we don't know what can be a. Like in the previous question, it was given that a is an integer. But look at here that we're given one more information. This is the vertex and it intersects the x-axis at 2 points. If negative 6, 15 is the vertex, let's have this on the coordinate plane. Negative 6 and 15. So the vertex is right here. That means the parabola is either this way or this way. But the question says it intersects the x-axis at 2 points. If the vertex is here, the parabola should be downward, so it intersects the x-axis at 2 points, right? If the parabola is downward, that means a is negative. If the parabola is upward, that means a is positive. Like that's a rule about the quadratic equations, the functions. So the parabola is downward, that means a is negative. So let's check the choices. I know that a is going to be negative, but I don't know what is the value of a. Choice A says this value, this expression is going to be 17. So I have something plus 15. 15 plus 2 should be 17, right? So this should be 2. 49 times a should be 2. But a is negative. So if a is negative, 49 times something negative is going to be negative. It can't be 2. So it's not choice A. Like we eliminate the choices this way. Choice B says 16. Again, 15 plus something positive should be 16. So it can't be 16. 15 plus 0 should be 15. So a is 0, but a is not 0. A is negative. So it's not 15. Only choice that is left is 14. 15 plus something negative, which is negative 1, can be 14. So a is going to be something negative, a negative number. These are two very good questions. Memorize the x-intercept form and the vertex form of the quadratic equation. Let's check the next question. The function g is defined as g of x equals this. If g of a plus 5 equals 0, where a is a constant, what is the value of a? So the function g of x is going to be equal to 0. If something is going to be equal to 0, then what is this a plus 5? So this means like whatever we plug into g, we want the function g to be 0. So let's just see where does this function is going to be equal to 0. Where does the y value of this is going to be 0? When we say g, the function is equal to 0, that means the y coordinate is 0, right? Let me just put this into the decimals. 2x minus 4 divided by x plus 11 times x minus 6. So this is the function. Where does it become 0? So here the x coordinate is 0, but y coordinate is not. Here, this is the point that we are looking for. X coordinate is 2, y coordinate is 0. So here is the point that the function is going to be 0 and the x is 2. Like the value that we plug into function is 2. The value that we plug into function, whatever is inside these parentheses, g of g parentheses a plus 5, whatever is inside those parentheses is the value that we plug into function. So a is not 2, a plus 5 is the value that the expression that is inside those parentheses. So a plus 5 should be 2. That means a should be negative 3. So negative 3 plus 5 is going to be 2. So the value of a is negative 3. The next question is a word problem question. A scientist makes batches of bricks using the situation represents this situation. All right, so for one batch of bricks, the scientist uses this much of sand and cement, and the ratio of the volume of sand to the volume of cement, so the volume of sand to volume of cement is 7 to 3. 7 to 3, that's what I know. And also he used this much of sand and cement, so plus cement is 4880. So sand plus cement is going to be 4880 for the total volume. And also this is the ratio. Let's check the choices. So sand plus cement is going to be 4880. These are gone. And for the ratio, I wrote the ratio in this form, but in the choices it's in this form. So what we can do, we can do cross multiplication. If we do cross multiplication, it's going to be 3s times 7c. So 3s equals 7c. 3s equals 7c, and here is this. It's going to be choice D. Another percentage question. The mass of object A is 498% of the mass of object B. Let's translate it. The mass of object A is 498% of mass of object B. So 498% of B means 4.98 B, and the mass of object A is 0.83%. So it's not 0.83 times of something, it's 0.83% of mass of the object C. So 0.83% of C means 0.0083 C. If we divide by 100 as we did here, like I divide 498 by 100, so it's 4.98. Here I also divide 0.83 by 100, it's going to be 0.0083. So if the mass of object C is p% of the mass of object B, what is the value of P? So we want to write C in terms of B. The mass of object C, p% of the mass of object B. So we want to write C equals some percent of B. C in terms of B. So we want to write, okay, so I'm going to plug this A into here. A is 4.98B, so I'm just going to write 4.98B equals 0.0083C. Now, should I divide both sides by 0.0083 or should I divide both sides by 4.98? Since we want to write C equals some percent of B, I want to isolate the C. So what I do have in this equation as the additional number is 0.0083. So if we want to remove that 0.0083 from the right side of the equation, so if we're going to divide both sides by that, this divided by 0.0083 and this divided by 0.0083, so these will cancel out, and let's see what is 4.98 divided by 0.0083. It's going to be 600. So here is the tricky part. C equals 600B. C equals 600B. Look at the question. Again, I go back to question. If the mass of object C is p%, so I'm looking for p% as the percentage. We don't want as the number, as the, like C is 600 times B, but what is the percent? To find the percent, like when we converted the percent into the number, we divided by 100. Now we want to convert, we want to do the opposite, so we're going to multiply by 100. So it's not 600, it's going to be 60,000% of B. Alright, the next question. The graph of a system of two linear equations is shown. If a third equation, this, is added to the system, how many solutions will the resulting system of three equations have? So I have already two lines here, two linear equations, and they intersect at one point. If we plot another line here on the xy coordinate plane, to have a solution, all those three lines should intersect at one point. Like, why do we say this is the solution to this system? Because this point is on both of the lines. So if we want a solution to a system of three linear equations, then we want a point that is on all the linear equations, all the lines. So if we like plot the third line, it should cross from here. So we say, all right, this is the solution because this point is on all the three lines, right? We can put this point, plug this point into this linear equation and see if this point is on this line. If yes, then we have one solution. Can we have two solutions or infinitely many solutions in this situation? Well, we can't have two solutions, or we can't have infinitely many solutions. Can you like find 2 points that's on both of all the three lines? Like, first of all, to be on all the three lines, it has to be on these two lines. So there is only this point that is on these two lines. So we can have only one point that is on the three lines. It has to have either one solution or no solution. So we're gonna plug this point into the equation. I'm gonna say, all right, this point is 6, -4. So if I plug 6 into x, I have to get -4 for y. Let's check it. Here, let's plug 6 to x. It's gonna be 6 plus 2y equals -8. Then 2y is gonna be equal to -14, and y is gonna be -7. All right, so we didn't get -4, so that means this point is not on this line. That means we're not going to have any solution. We're not going to have any answer or any point that is on all the three lines. So it's going to be 0 solutions. A quadratic function can be used to model the height. For these kind of questions, like this is a quadratic function question, because when we throw something or when there is something that goes up and then comes down, it's like a quadratic, it's like a parabola. So like if this is the parabola, it's starting from 0 at 7 seconds. The height is 784, which is the maximum height. So it's like this, and then it comes down like this. And we know that a parabola is symmetric based on the vertex line. So this is the vertex line. So here the distance from here is the same as distance here, which is like 7 here. So here is going to be 14 because they are the same. It's going to be the same distance. So let's write the equation of this function. We know that the quadratic functions are in this form: ax squared plus bx plus c. C is the y-intercept. What is the y-intercept of this function? It's 0. So c is 0, right? C is gone. We don't have any c, so the function is going to look like x squared plus bx. And let's plug one of these points. One of the points that we can plug is vertex, which is 7 and 784. So when we plug 7, it's going to be 49a plus 7b should be equal to 784. And another point that we can plug in is 14, 0. When we plug 14 to x, we should get 0. So 14 squared, 14 times 14 is 196. 196a plus 14b should be equal to 0. So to solve this system, I'm going to use elimination. 7b here and 14b here. So I'm going to multiply this equation by -2. -98 plus -14b equals -784 times 2 is 1568, right? When we add these two, these will be gone, and we're gonna have 98a equals -1568. Now let's find out a. A is going to be -1568 divided by 98, which is -16. So a is -16. All right, here is -16. This was 0, that was gone. So let's find out b. We can plug a here and find out b. We can say, all right, 196 times -16 is going to be -3136, which is equal to which is going to be equal to -14b. So if you clean this negative, if you delete that negative, 3136 is 14b. So if I then divide this by 14, if we divide the whole thing by 14, we're gonna get 224. So b is 224, right? So here is 224. Now we are looking for the equation is done. We completely wrote the parabolas equation. We can now solve for any point that is being asked. In this case, the point that we're looking for is the 3, so we're going to plug 3 to this equation and find out the height. So negative 16 times 3 squared, which is 9, plus 224 times 3. And let's find out that. Negative 16 times 9, then this, plus 224 times 3 is going to be 528. So in 3 seconds, the height of the object is going to be 528. That's going to be the answer. Now, this was the manual way that we've solved the whole question. But up to here, up to this point that you've plugged two points into the quadratic equations form, and you found this, now you have a system of linear equation, and you want to find a and b. At this point, you could use Desmos to find a and b, but like the way you can use Desmos is rather than a and b, you're going to write them in terms of x and y. So 49x plus 7y equals 784. Plus 14y equals 2. Here's the intersection, but this is going to be the answer. Negative 16 and 224. X was a, so a is negative 16 and y is 224. If you didn't get how I solved it manually here by using elimination, you can also use it this way using Desmos. So that's all about the Algebra predictions. I hope you enjoyed the questions, and make sure you do these questions at least once on yourself. And if you haven't downloaded, you can download them from the community link in the description. So good luck on your exam, and see you in the next video.